Making the choice of the lifting belt that you use is probably one of the most important decisions that you make when you're lifting heavy weights. I've had a lot of questions pertaining to the belts that I make here as to the quality and why they are substantially more expensive than the typical belt that you pull off a shelf or one that you buy anywhere else. The short answer is it's quality, it's actual quality. But what I want to do, I'm in the process of putting together my latest iteration. I'm calling it the Patriot. And I want to show the internals of this belt, just to give you an example, to show you the detail to quality that we put into doing these. And being a lifter myself, there are certain things that I want when I put on a belt. And it's not a bunch of thick leather, and it's not a bunch of weak padding. But one of the things that I found is a lot of the cheaper belts are so thin that they cut into my ribs, and some of them that are thicker, the width of them is uncomfortable when I do squats and deadlifts. What I want to do is I wanted to show you why so many of these belts are uncomfortable. Generally, when you look at belts, you have one of two camps. One of them is a really thick base that's built up. This one in particular is a shit belt. It's a nice belt, but it's two layers of leather with a really cheap liner and padding in it. This off-the-shelf Gold's belt, same situation. They've got the same basic liner in them and the padding in them. What I want to do is I want to open one of these up and show you what's on the inside of these belts and why they're so uncomfortable. So this is, I don't know what kind of material this is, but it tears, so it's definitely not leather. But on the inside of this, on these belts, you've got this foam. This foam insert is what's providing the cushion. In our belts, we use a high density foam that is much more supportive. It's not nearly as flimsy as the other one. And our cushion, instead of being one straight line, is divided into strips like this. So when you wrap the belt around your waist, each part of the vertebrae that needs to be supported can make its own impression and get real support through this. This doesn't really supply anything more than an absorbent for sweat and a small barrier between this liner and this belt leather. Our belts are drastically different because I make a panel out of this cushion, and this panel has a backing that is real leather, and it's stitched in to where each one of these pockets is a strip of foam, and on the inside is a real leather. It's a suede at first, but eventually as you wear it, it will smooth itself out and have a really nice patina on it. So this strip is sewn on to the belt, and in this case here, this is the Patriot belt that we're going to put together here, and each one of those strips lines up here. So what we'll do is we'll stitch this puppy together, get it nice and dialed in, and once it's done, you don't have a real thick belt. It's probably a little bit thinner around the waist, the parts that are going to touch your body. It's a little bit thinner than these really stiff, rigid belts. But these belts are made custom. We've got several different designs. We've got several different options. And basically, it's whatever the customer wants, that's what we make. I'll get this thing buttoned up and stitched together, and we will show the final outcome.